So following his loss to Oleksandr Usyk this past weekend, Tyson Fury has went full-blown sore loser and crybaby mode. And in this video, we are going to be taking a look at a number of things from Tyson Fury from the post-fight press conference, this clip that dated back to 2020 on his thoughts of Oleksandr Usyk, a perfect example of you got to watch what you say, man, because sometimes karma has a way of getting back to you. And then I want to take a look at immediately after the boxing match, his thoughts and some of the things that he said, because they were interesting, right? And you can see here, so we'll get into this as well. So actually, let's start with this clip right away, right? So my guy Malata here went ahead and shared this clip. This was a clip that was floating around, right? So Tyson Fury goes out there, and I thought that it was actually a pretty close boxing match. I still had Oleksandr Usyk winning a couple more rounds than Tyson Fury did. I don't remember my exact scorecard in real time, but I definitely thought Usyk won the fight. Now, there are a lot of people out there that are claiming robbery, Tyson Fury robbery, robbery. It was not a robbery, right? That is not a robbery. A robbery is a clear one-sided ass whooping to where they still give it to the other guy that got his ass whooped, right? This was not a one-sided beatdown. Oleksandr Usyk is one of those guys that just has a way against taller opponents. I've been saying it coming into this. I picked Oleksandr Usyk to win both times against Tyson Fury. He has a very difficult style to deal with, but let's hear what my guy Malata says here. Look, Tyson Fury immediately after his rematch with Oleksandr Usyk, I'll tell you what, you're not getting nothing in these countries, basically hinting at Saudi Arabia, taking a dig there. And then, right here, he says nothing except a gift versus Francis Ngannou, an immediate Usyk rematch, and millions of dollars. So the gift against Francis Ngannou, right? MMA, heavyweight superstar Francis goes over and boxes Tyson Fury. I thought Francis Ngannou won that, right? He knocked down Tyson Fury. He landed the more damaging shots. What the hell did Tyson Fury do to win that, right? He didn't. I thought Francis Ngannou won, so there was the gift there. Then goes out there and it gets an immediate rematch against Oleksandr Usyk after the decision the first time around that went Usyk's way. And then, yeah, he made millions of dollars both times against Oleksandr Usyk. But let's watch this clip so you can hear the immediate reaction of Tyson Fury following the bout. Just listen to what this guy has to say.
I'm now open then, completely. Every front there. I swear to God, I thought I won it by at least 3 rounds. I bossed the fight in front, put all the man out, put them all. I tell you what, you're not getting nothing in these countries. 3 guys. There's no cameras.
So there you go. You get to hear it there. Not getting nothing in these countries. Like, listen. Tyson Fury is just being, one, I get it, right? You go out there against Oleksandr Usyk. It's a first, it's kind of close first time around. You come out here the second time around. I thought Tyson Fury had a good game plan, right? He was going to be on the front foot, came in heavier. We all knew that he was going to try to bully around Usyk and not sit on the back foot and just be defensive the whole time. And again, I've said before, whether it's good or bad, that kind of plays to the disadvantage of a fighter that likes to sit on the back foot and kind of pick and move and play that kind of role, because the judges tend to reward the guy that's going to move forward and push the pace and try to cut the ring off. We do see judges favor that at times. So I thought that this was a good approach by Oleksandr Usyk to be aggressive and come after Tyson Fury. But to blame it on, because you're in Saudi Arabia, Tyson? What the hell does that have to do with anything? You're from the UK or whatever, and then we got Oleksandr Usyk who's from Ukraine. He's a Ukrainian. It's not like this, to say that they would be biased towards Oleksandr Usyk, which is, I guess, what he's insinuating here. Why would they do that? I know boxing's corrupt and there's some bad decisions, but if there was going to be a bad decision, one that would be good for business, wouldn't it be Tyson Fury winning this time? Then that way it's 1-1 and they get the, a huge trilogy between the two. Wouldn't that make a lot more sense? Why the hell would they want Usyk to win again? Turki Al-Sheikh has even said before, look, he likes Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury is a huge draw, and yeah, he's probably a bigger name than Oleksandr Usyk in the sport. I still think Usyk is better. Clearly, he beat him twice. But this is just cope from Tyson Fury right away. And I know emotions are high and, he spent months away from his family and all those different things. So the emotions are pouring over. He's like, I did all that and didn't get the decision. So I understand that. But let's listen to this clip back from 2020. Karma, man. you gotta watch what you say, because here's what he said about, Oleksandr Usyk back then, and then to know what we know now, this is just crazy. So let's listen.
Usyk ain't on the list. He's a no-name. No one's interested, and he doesn't make any money. So what would I want to fight him for? A foreigner don't speak good English, and nobody's really interested anyways. I want the big fights that people are interested in, and that ain't one of them.
What if he was to beat Joshua?
Still, it won't be a big fight. He's still a foreigner in a westernised world. The belts are back in the West, and they're going to stay there. And, for whatever it sounds like, the heavyweight champion should be from Britain or America, nowhere else. Maybe in Ukraine he might be a big star, but the Britain or America ain't interested in some Ukrainian boxers boxing in Ukraine, and that's the way it is. The heavyweight champion of the world needs to be in the West, and that's it. That's how it goes.
So look how this has aged. Tyson Fury out here basically completely dismissing Oleksandr Usyk. Now, a lot of my viewers are MMA fans. It's mainly what I cover. We see this happen from time to time in MMA, right? Where there's guys out there that dismiss, fighters in the division, right? Like Colby Covington was very dismissive of Leon Edwards, and then down the line, that's who he wants to fight because Leon has the belt. And then everyone was dismissing Bilal. They're acting like they don't know who he is. Then Bilal becomes the champ. Now they're all calling to fight Bilal because he's the guy with the title. And you get to see here Tyson Fury out here being very dismissive and acting as if Oleksandr Usyk is not one of the best boxers in the world. I mean, wow, did this come back to bite him in the ass? Because Oleksandr Usyk is not only one of the best heavyweights in the world right now, or the best actually, because he's, they unified it and everything. I think he's one of the greatest heavyweights of all time. Stylistically, he is absolutely spectacular, and he has a style to go in there, like I said, and cause Tyson Fury a world of problems. And this just seemed like hating from the very beginning from Tyson Fury. He's like, I don't want to box that guy. He's got a style that's going to give me some issues. That's what I recognize from watching this interview. Maybe it comes off that way because this was some time ago, but just two clips that I wanted to start with there. But this is really where things are going to get a little bit interesting, right? So here in the post-fight presser, you've already heard some of the delusional remarks and then the karma that came back to bite him. But just listen to, when I watch these MMA post-fight interviews, it's Dana White goes up there and everyone's kind of quiet and they ask their questions. This is like what makes boxing such a clown show, right? And I know Turkey Al-Sheikh and Riyadh Season and all that, they're doing a good job of trying to revive boxing. But these are the things that really annoy me about boxing, right? What is going on in this post-fight presser? Why is everyone like running around and talking and saying a whole bunch of other things? Like, everyone shut the hell up. You're in there to interview the fighter and ask your questions and hear what the guy has to say. So just try to pardon the noise, but let's go through this and start with how everyone acts like when Fury comes in, they're all treating him like he's the winner, which is just ridiculous to me.
Thanks everybody for coming. Appreciate it. Sure you bored on some questions, that's a lie. Fire away.
Comes in, it's a championship ovation. And I know that everyone wants to be respectful because, Tyson Fury's a big name and it was a good back and forth of this and that. He didn't win. So interesting to me that this guy walks in there and they're acting like he's the winner, right? And people, what it is people just don't want to give Oleksandr Usyk their credit. They don't like him. They're Fury fans or whatever the case may be. Oleksandr Usyk is the heavyweight champion. He beat Tyson Fury fair and square both times. I don't get the whole thing, but let's move on here because right away he's going to hop on the gas about, I thought I won the fight, right? So here, you'll get to hear it.
Quite confident. I thought I won that fight again. I think I've got Larry Holmes here. I thought I've won both fights. But then again, I've gone home with 2 losses on my record now, so there's not much I can do about it. I can just fight my heart out and do the best I can. But again, I'll always believe until the day I die, I won that fight.
Did you feel that, this time you having you on the back foot? You're a bit
aggressive on the back foot. I was on the front foot all night, landing body and head. Listen, sometimes it's hard to score.
Quiet at the back.
So look, and you hear all the people in the background, right, talking and whatever. So you got to really listen in. But he's like, he thinks because he was on the front foot, just throwing combinations out there, that Tyson Fury should win the fight. And he's like, I'll till the day I die, I'll believe that I beat him twice. Well, you didn't. You lost twice. And this is one of those things that we see. Look, everything in Tyson Fury's career was basically, he had some ups and downs, obviously. But for the most part, he's basically an undefeated fighter. And whenever you see a fighter have so many things go their way inside the ring or the cage or whatever, they tend to have a very hard time accepting defeat or the fact that they got beat twice by somebody that just, so happens to basically have their number, which is what Oleksandr Usyk would do. But this is, again, delusion and cope 101. Do not accept the defeat. Just come in there, and you'll hear that throughout this. He'll basically be like, oh, yeah, and then he'll basically then say congrats to Usyk, whatever, and then go right back to, oh, I thought I won and whatever. Like, it's very disingenuous from Tyson Fury. But let's move on here to, this guy, Frank, that's with him, that's part of his, team or whatever here. He's going to chime in multiple times throughout this and give his thoughts on things. So it's just interesting to hear what he says because he was sitting ringside and all the boxing experts around him are like, oh, I thought Fury won and this and that. So let's just, here we go.
I feel a lot of people did as well. Same score. Frank had me 3 or 4 rounds up. A lot of people had me at least 2. I just don't know. Listen, it is what it is. I'm not going to cry over spilled milk. It's happened now. I know boxing, been in it all my life. You can't change no decisions. But I just always feel a little bit hard done by. Not a little bit, actually a lot. But I think when you don't get the knockout, this is what happens. You can't guarantee a win.
And this is what they say. If you leave it in the judge's hands, right or wrong, whatever, sometimes we do see bad judging in boxing. That's one of the things that has, in a way destroyed boxing. Bad judging, all those kinds of things. But this is like, this fight either way, like I thought Usyk won the fight. Now the judges did have it a little bit wide for my liking. I thought it was quite a bit closer than what they had basically scored the fight. And even the AI thing, I thought that was way too wide. But it's just Tyson Fury, you can see, oh, well, this is just what happens. This guy's having a hard time swallowing the pill, man.
Well, twice anyway, mate. Look, we'll have you the true champion, and as I said, mate, it's 2 times now I've been your winner, and
same as me then.
from Australia.
If anybody's seen it.
Thank you.
Hey, do you mind keeping quiet? This is...
You hear out they have to keep telling everybody to shut up and quiet. Like, what the hell are these people doing in there? Aren't they supposed to be like professional reporters and so? I don't get it.
Tyson talk. You want to have conversations? Go outside and have them.
Get outside and have them.
Right. So the scorecards. I don't know if you've seen them, any of you. The one judge gave Usyk the last 7 rounds. He didn't give Tyson 1 round, and the other 2 judges of the last 7 rounds gave him a round each. Each gave him 1 round. I mean, I've been doing this for years, and I'm biased, I know, because I'm in Tyson's camp, but how on earth can anybody say he never won 1 round out of the last 7?
I agree. I do agree, right? And yeah, he's biased because he's going to be Team Tyson, but he's got a point here, right? And I will say that I do, like I said, I thought the judging was way too like crazy one-sided towards Usyk, to where I thought I could have seen a scenario where you had it 5-5 going into the final 2 rounds where the final 2 decided, to where I did think Usyk won those rounds. But to have all those rounds go to Usyk, like I thought Tyson won some of, those rounds in there. Off the top of my head, I don't remember specifically, but I agree. Like, I definitely think that they were definitely way too, like, far, one-sided.
Are they Ukrainian judges?
Sorry?
Ukrainian judges?
Well,
They might as well have been.
whatever they were, honestly, I'm dumbfounded at how that scoring can be. It's dreadful.
And again, this is one of the things we've seen in boxing is bad scoring, bad this, bad that. I thought Usyk won the fight. You've heard me say that already. But, the guy making a joke where they Ukrainian, Ukrainian judges, I've said this before. If they wanted the decision to go and influence it to go a certain way, let's say that happened. Why would they want Usyk to win again? Wouldn't they want Fury to win? Because then they'd be 1 apiece and then you have a trilogy for all the marbles? That'd be huge. Financially, build-up wise, that'd be big, right? They could do the rematch in the summer 2025 or whatever, build it up. It could be, 1-1. This is for all the marbles. Wouldn't that make more sense? Fury's out here acting like, they wanted to see my downfall. Like, no, they didn't. You just lost. Like, so it's just crazy. I was trying to kind of play this like victimized, guy here. But let's move on here to where he's going to talk about, the Ukrainian reporter is going to ask a question, right? So he's going to ask him a question, and you heard how Tyson Fury says, oh, it was a Christmas gift that Oleksandr Usyk won the fight. It wasn't a Christmas gift. He won.
Mr. Fury, a question from Ukrainian journalists. A lot of people say that Usyk wins thanks to his spirit. Did you feel it?
Didn't feel no spirit. I felt a little bit of Christmas spirit in there, and I think he got a little Christmas gift from them judges. Christmas gift early.
And listen to everybody clapping. Everyone's in the background. You go, Tyson. You go. It was not a Christmas gift, dude. You lost. You lost. It was I do think the fight, like I said, was closer than what the judges scored it. But it wasn't like some robbery. Usyk won. I thought he won pretty clearly. Thought it was a clear win for Oleksandr Usyk. And then he's got all these cheerleaders in there. Yeah, you go, Tyson. You tell him. Like a bunch of yes men in the room around him. So no surprise there. But then you'll hear him say again, I thought I won the fight. He keeps bringing it up over and over and over again here. And I thought the first time was a split. I think it was a split decision, close, whatever. This time, yeah, he was on the front foot. But the significant shots landed by Oleksandr Usyk, I thought was the difference.
Just there.
How do you feel in terms of both performances? Obviously, the first fight, you said, look, I weren't your best, but I thought I won. Do you feel like your performance was really nice and day?
I felt I won the both fights. Like this Australian lad here, he thought I won both fights too. I don't know what I've got. Well, obviously I know what I had to do, knock him out to get a decision. But do you know what? It's boxing, and it happens. And there's no doubt in my mind I won the fight, and that's it. We can't cry over it. We can't do
I think
much
the
about
fans, all the British fans,
I can't cry over it. Yet that's all he's doing. Is basically sitting up here and doing these interviews and crying about it. That's all he did since he left the octagon. Or not the octagon, the ring.
and at home in Britain, everybody's calling it a massive robbery.
And it's not a massive robbery. They're biased. Clearly. That's where Tyson Fury's at, right? Of course they're going to root for their guy and want him to win, but you got to put the bias aside and call it what it is. He lost.
So what can you do? You get paid, you get laid, that's it. You go home. And I've done that many, many times, and we're on for a nice Christmas in the Fury house, and thank God we're all both out the ring in one piece.
So again, good little message there. And like I said, I think Tyson Fury, he's a decent sport. He's having a hard time here. He thinks that he's got a part of the issue for me, or like what I think part of the issue is, he's got all these people around him being like, Tyson, you won. It was a robbery. And they're like pushing all of that on him to where, of course, he's going to probably have thoughts thinking that he won anyway. But that's going to put him in a situation to where I think that he's like obviously believing because this is what he's being told. He just fought. He didn't get to watch it back yet. So maybe if he watches it back, he'll have a different perspective. I doubt it, because this is just how, top world-class fighters are, especially a guy like this who's got a huge name, and Usyk's name maybe not as big. Even though Usyk's beat him twice, Fury still has the name that holds a lot of weight. So, but let's hear basically what his plans are next.
What's next for me? I'm going home. I'm having some time off, for sure. You might do, you might not do. Who knows? We'll talk about that next year.
Let him have a nice.
So he's saying, he's like, I just want to go home. The holidays, want to enjoy some time with my family. He just, him and Usyk just went at it, right? Twice this year. So I get it, wanting to take some time. Francis Ngannou is a guy that's out there saying, look, I want to box Fury again. But to me, the matchup to make here is definitely probably Fury versus AJ. I think it's either now or never that you do Anthony Joshua versus Tyson Fury. I think that's a massive fight that they could do over in Wembley Stadium or somewhere of that nature. That would be a massive, massive event between those two. So I think that they look to book that next, and then I think they look to do Usyk versus probably Dubois, or unless Parker's able to pull it off against Dubois. But Danny and Usyk running it back, I think that would be a pretty solid fight. Again, not as big because Tyson Fury's name holds quite a bit of weight here. But let's move on to the scoring from the others. So this guy Frank is going to chime back in, and you're going to get to hear him say, oh, but I was sitting ringside, and all these other people, they know boxing, and they were scoring it for Fury.
After the fifth round, I gave him at least 4 of them. That's how I see the fight. I mean, the last one he won. And that's how I see it. I just don't see how anybody can not give him a round in the last 7 rounds. I don't know what fight anybody could be possibly watching.
Bob Arum scored the fight 8-4 to Tyson.
Oscar De La Hoya, who's a neutral, sitting two along me, we were scoring it together, and we agreed. You know, he had it 4 rounds. I've said the minimum 3 rounds. I thought he well won it by more than that, and I was.
I have a very hard one. Who gives a shit what Oscar De La Hoya thinks? As Dana would say, Oscar De La Hoya. You've heard Dana White go in on Oscar De La Hoya. Oscar De La Hoya. You've heard all the different things from Oscar. That dude gets up there for his own promotion and is reading off of a damn script because he probably doesn't even know who the freaking fighters are on his card. That's the type of guy Oscar De La Hoya is. He's an absolute clown. He has been for a while. Everything that seems to go on around Oscar tends to fall apart or be a disaster. And he's supposed to be sitting there concentrated for a solid 12 rounds, focused in with a clear mind. You know what I'm getting at. Watching a boxing event, I don't trust Oscar De La Weirdo as a reliable source in terms of judging. So in my opinion, you could probably throw that one out the window. But either way, saying that he doesn't have a bias, I'd be shocked if he's not biased one way, just to be like, oh, he doesn't have a bias. I don't know. I'm not so sure about Oscar. I don't trust Oscar, and I know a lot of people in the industry don't.
Trying to be a little bit, you know, unbiased, if you will. But
he is biased. He is biased, clearly. But let's move on here to Tyson Fury. Let's move on to Tyson Fury here, where he talks about the AI, because they tell him about that AI scoring that was happening from above, and that thing was crazy. That was a widespread there that was heavily favoring Usyk, which I thought was a little bit too much there. So let's hear what Tyson said here. This was kind of funny.
1-9 to 1.
By the review of that, absolutely shit. Here's one. Fuck all the computers. Keep the humans going. More jobs for humans, less jobs for computers. And fuck electric cars too while we're at it.
So there you go. You get Tyson's unfiltered opinion there. But listen, that AI judging thing, that was a little wild there in terms of the scoring. But let's move on to where he says that he doesn't think that Usyk was basically the best guy that he's fought, which is crazy. You lost to him twice. How's he not the best guy you fought?
Not really, to be fair. In that fight there, never hurt me once.
Never hit him. Look at the eye. Look at the marks. Usyk landed some good shots, man.
Landed it. I've got a couple of flesh wounds. They'll be gone in 2-3 days. But yeah, not a mark on me roll on. But listen, it is what it is. I know what's happened, and that's it. I go home, and that's it. There's not much I can say. Not much I can say or do, to be fair. I took it more serious. I was on that front foot more, and that's it.
And again, it was, like I said before, you know, on my prediction leading up to this, I expected Tyson Fury to come in. We knew he was coming in a little heavier. He was going to be more aggressive, try to bully Usyk around, not allow Usyk just to walk him down and move forward. But just because you're doing that moving forward the whole time doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to win. So I feel like Tyson has it in his mind that, oh, I was moving forward most of the time in this fight, which he wasn't the entire time. He's acting like he was for every second of the fight. There were times that he was being backed up by Usyk. And then let's get the last thoughts here from Frank, again, who just continues to chime in.
No showboating or nothing. He was focused all the way through. He boxed well. His jab was superb. And he was, you know, and his footwork was superb. He wasn't slow. He was very evasive. I mean, how many times you get caught? He hardly got caught with any decent punches.
And it is what it is.
A couple of shots he caught him with, a couple of right hands, and left hands, and that was it.
In my opinion, Christmas gift. It's not Alexander's fault. Congratulations to him and his team. Congratulations to everybody. Thank you to Turkey, Al-Sheikh, Frank, Spencer, everybody who's involved, Bob, for putting it on, giving me the opportunities to have a great career and a great fight. Thank you very much and good night.
So at the end of the day, you get to hear it here from Tyson Fury. At the end of the day, the guy's made an absurd amount of money from boxing. He's one of the biggest names in the history of boxing, period, really. I mean, especially when it comes to the heavyweight division. And Tyson Fury's been a guy that I've liked watching box over the years. I think he's outstanding, a dude that's that big, that moves like that. But this cope and like the delusion of the people around him telling him these different things that I think he's just hearing and regurgitating because he's like, oh, this is what the people around me are saying, are not exactly accurate things. And, you know, hopefully he'll be able to just kind of overcome this, move on. I'd like to see him versus Anthony Joshua next. But he basically gave zero credit to Oleksandr Usyk. And you can see people will say, oh, well, it was just, he lost and he was being a sore loser about it, blah, blah, blah. That's why I pulled that clip over here from 2020 to not let him off the hook from that, because this is how he has always looked at and basically viewed Oleksandr Usyk. Gotta watch the karma, man. Sometimes it comes around and it'll bite you in the ass. But if you enjoyed this video, give it a like, comment your thoughts down below, and please subscribe to the channel if you are new, and turn on the notification bell so you do not miss an upload. I would appreciate it. See you next time.